Hi, welcome to Artistry Collaborative. My name is Joanne and I'm so happy you joined me today. Today is part 2 of the Shore Living line from Dollar Tree. If you're new to my channel, well, welcome. I'm so glad you showed up, and if you like what you see, please become a subscriber and hit that bell so that every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. To my subscribers, you know I just love you and adore you. Here at Artistry Collaborative, we are the home of TriLab because, well, all we want you to do is try. I love inspiring creativity and ideas in everyone. So come along and let's create these 3 DIYs together. Okay, so this is another quick and easy. I got this at a specialty scrapbooking store. It is by Studio Light and it's called Moonflower. So I thought this would be really pretty. I love the whole thing. I was going to make a picture with the whole paper, but I think this will go with what I'm trying to create. So I am going to put a layer of tacky glue on here, and then I am just going to place the paper on top of here, and then I will let it dry, and then much like I did the letters for the last DIY for the Relax, we will cut and distress, maybe embellish a little. I don't know. I think it might be pretty just being left alone. You always want to make sure you get the edges really well. So there's that. And now I am going to cut right under the moon. Luckily there's like a pattern so I can follow that all the way along. And I'm going to take this. All your letters are on paper. And then let that dry. Okay, so I trimmed around the letters with my X-Acto knife, but I didn't do a great job of it. As you can see a lot of white around the edges. So I cleaned it up the best I could, and then I am going to trim it with this pearl sheet that I got from Dollar Tree. So it is sticky, but again, we're going to use tacky glue, and I'm just cutting a strip, and we will follow all the way around the letters. There's little strings on these particular pearls when you cut it away, so I'm trying to trim them, but you really can't. I tried to find the sharpest scissor that I had, but you really can't cut that close, but it looked great, so I wasn't too worried. So again, I'm taking off the tape on the back, And then we're going to take a little bit of tacky glue and put a bead of that around the edges. And then just lay the pearls on top of the glue like that. And I'm just going to go all the way around the outer edge, and then I'll cut smaller pieces and do the inside of the lettering. And that's all there is. So I'm going to keep going and I'll be back. So this is what it looks like finished, and that is enough. Okay, on to the next DIY. So this is another mermaid, and this one I bought years and years and years ago. You can see it's very thick. It's a much better quality. But Dollar Tree does have a front-facing mermaid. So I painted this with the same silver that I used on the other mermaid. And then I wanted to do something different with the bottom. So I was going through my ribbons, and I found these. And I thought, ooh, but my daughter said this was hers, so hands off, Mom. And so I cut a piece and I started to do this, and I used a quarter, but I didn't really like it. So I went back to the Dollar Tree one. I have a lot of this, and I used a nickel, so it's much smaller. And now I'm going to put this all across. I think I'll do it like this. So again, it is sticky, but I'm going to use my tacky glue to ensure that it stays on. And I don't know why I want the tail to be different, but I just do. So you peel this off, and I'm doing it so that it goes around the edge too. And then I'll take the next piece and go like that so that it looks like scales. So if I cut, it needs to be cut there. Actually, I should do this. So I'm going to lose some, but it would be good if I took the tape off. Oh, I did take the tape off. It's early morning. I don't function in the morning. Okay. And so I'm just building the scales like so. And I'm going to go all the way up. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back. So this is what we have so far. What I will do is I will go in with a darker, like I may add some dark color to this beige and go into here to give it highlight so that it looks different from her neck. But this was just done with that flesh color. Now we're going to make some hair with some Sculpey. So this is some extra pieces that I had, and I'm going to add this light brown so that it has two tones in it. And we're going to just take some of this. This is Sculpey clay. I prefer the Sculpey brand. There's Primo and Fimo. Is it Fimo? Fimo. Fimo, Souffle. There's several different kinds, but I find Sculpey the easiest to work with. The others are supposed to be better for if you're making jewelry. They're harder, but they're also more difficult to work with, and I just prefer Sculpey. It's softer. I mean, you do have to work it. I do have a pasta machine, but since we're just working on this little bit of hair, I don't feel like I need to pull out the pasta machine. So I'm just going to cut these in little pieces and then mix it all up. Good therapy for arthritis. It's tough, but it's good. And you can use a rolling pin and roll it out. There's 1,000 things you can do to soften it up. But usually what I do is I just keep cutting it up. And then mixing it up. Okay, so as you can see, it's not completely blended, but it's patchy, which is what I wanted. Now, I do have this contraption with all different things to, you put your clay in there and then it's called an extruder, and it pushes out the clay in different shapes. But since we're just doing some hair, I bought this garlic press for this very reason. And so I'm just going to put a little bit of this in there. This is a piece of parchment square, and I'm going to put that down because we're going to lay the hair on here and design it the way we want, and then we're going to put this in the toaster oven so that it doesn't stick. As we're laying it down, it doesn't stick to her head because I can't stick her head in the oven. So you just put this in here and you just press. Oh, I don't have much strength. Now the problem with this is I don't know how long I'm gonna get this stuff. Alright, let's see. Maybe this isn't gonna work. Let's see. Okay, that's better. Yeah. Okay. And then what you normally do is just take a knife and just cut it like so. Alright, so now I'm going to take this here and just lay it down. And of course you could use doll hair if you wanted. You could use yarn like we did in the other mermaid. You could use glitter. You could use anything. But because these pieces aren't super long, I'm just attaching. One to the other. And then when we get up here, we'll do shorter pieces. You can give her bangs if you want. Watch see how this moves. So I'm going to make sure it stays where it's supposed to be. Put this whole thing here. Yeah, so I'm going to keep playing and fill this in and I'll be back. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And we're going to just take this like this and we're going to bake it. I think it's 275 for 15 minutes, and yeah, then we'll just attach it. Alright, so here's the hair, and I painted the wood part brown so that if anything showed through, it would you know, have some kind of background. So now I'm just taking a little bit of brown and a little bit of the beige that or flesh tone that I used, and just to darken it a little bit. And I'm just gonna go in here a little. Just to darken where the neck is. And I may go back with Alright, so now this is going to go on here like so. And I'm just using hot glue to put the hair in. Alright, so we'll let that sit for a bit. And I have these two stars. They actually came from lights. So I'm going to put those on, but I'm going to add a little bit of iridescence. And I'm going to put some of those pearls as a string pearl brace for the bra. And then I think I'm going to use pearls here, but I'm going to look around. So I'll be right back. So I have a ton of these seed beads, and so I just mixed them all together. They're pink and white and clear, and I am just going to put a bunch of tacky glue on the tail. And I happen to pick those colors because they match the scales of the rest of the body. I'm putting it on really thick because I want to press the beads into the glue. Then I'm just going to take these and just sprinkle them. Now probably what I'll do is I'll let this dry, and then I will put another coat on and double it up. Okay, so we'll let this dry and I'll be back. Okay, so I think this is the last DIY of the Seashore Shore Living DIYs. And so this is from Hobby Lobby when it was 90% off, so it cost me $1.59. And we're going to place this on here, and I'm going to make light paint, light beam, and I'm going to put in one of my favorite John Mayer quotes, which is "keep me where the light is." So I'm going to paint this with white chalk paint. We're going to paint this with white chalk paint. We'll go in and paint it with a different color for accents. We'll do a sky. Yeah, we're going to have some fun. I apologize for the shadows, but there's not much I can do about it. But I'm using this metallic paint. I got this in clearance at Michael's, and I'm going to take my paintbrush and we're going to mix some of this to make it light. But you want to have different hues for your sky, and you just, I'm going to cover the whole canvas. But again, you can put in some dark. Now I can also put clouds in, but I don't know, this is looking pretty good the way it is, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I think I'm also going to do the sides, because I don't think I'm going to buy a frame for this, or make a frame. Now this will probably be the water, so I may want this to be darker. See that? I'm just going to finish up the sides. So I took some of the dark straight blue and kind of just made a wave to give it a horizon, you might say. And I just keep blending, just because I want the sky to look lighter than the ocean. But then I'm also taking some white so that it looks like there's foam. On the water. And I'm just doing a little pouncing. Nothing too technical. And probably once I get the lighthouse in, I'll probably have to do some touch-ups. So alright, I'm going to let this dry and then we will come back. Alright, so as you can see, I've jumped a few steps. This is slate that I got from a nearby, one of my favorite places to go, Beaver Tail in Rhode Island. But I painted this with black, and this is Peacock in the Waverly paint. And to get it nice and clean, I used this paint marker to do that. And now this is going to go here. And then I drew two lines because this is where the light is going to shine from there. So I am going to just throw some paint on. Oh, I didn't get yellow. So I didn't want a straight yellow line. I want one of those beautiful, colorful lights. So we're going to put some yellow in here. And I'm going to take this off so I don't get any yellow on it. And put the yellow in. Then we're going to add a little bit of peach. And some of this, what is it called? Berry. It's by Deco Art, and it's metallic. Oh, that's not what I wanted, but it'll be covered up anyway. But just, you know, that pretty in the sky is just so pretty. And I know this is a light coming from a lighthouse, but you know, I always do my own thing, so let me get this off. Okay, pretty, but it needs more yellow, doesn't it? Alright. I'll probably add a little bit more yellow later on. Okay, and now I am going to glue the lighthouse to, I should distress it a little bit. Oh, how do I want to do that? Get some of this archival ink in brown espresso. Take a paper towel so that it's not so pristine. Then I am going to just use my, I think I'm going to use this. I don't know where I got it from. And then I have all these slate rocks that I picked up from my actual lighthouse. It's a beautiful place, and we're going to glue these down, but I think I'm going to use tacky glue to put these down. So let's put it on very, very heavy. And I'm just gonna do that. So I just came in and put more yellow, and then I decided I wanted a little more texture on the waves. So I'm using this, it's by Faber-Castell, and it's glass bead gel. This one's a little dried up, but I'm just going in and creating a little more texture with my palette knife. Something else I wanted to do is to make the horizon a little bit more distinct. So I'm taking this Painter's Market by ZR and just following this line that I created just to make it a little more distinct from the sky. It doesn't seem to want to work, so I may have to get another marker, but that's what. Okay, so I was looking through my letters and I couldn't find the right one, so my daughter and I did this on the Cricut, and I really love it. I love this font, and so I guess it's already starting to stick down. But if you don't have a Cricut, of course you can use letters from the Dollar Tree. You can use stencils. There's just 1,000 things you could do. But if you have a Cricut and you want to know what font this is, you know, leave a comment below and I will gladly share that with you. I hope you really like these tutorials. If you have not become a subscriber, I would love for you to join my YouTube family. And let me know if you like, I know this is a bunch of tutorials. Do you like getting a lot of that content, or would you rather have just a couple? Because I know when I watch someone and they have 20, it's overwhelming to me. So would you prefer that I keep it down to 3 and do more videos than these mega videos with, you know, 10 different tutorials? So please know I appreciate your support and your love and your comments, and it means the world to me. Give it a thumbs up if you like what you see. Leave a comment below, and as we say, just keep on creating. And there you go.